Good morning, students. As in the previous classes, we have completed the neural control and coordination chapter. You all know that in the offline, the excretory products and their elimination, that lesson was completed, but we couldn't discuss any of the competitive bits on that topic. So let us discuss the competitive part of excretory products and their elimination. So the first question, select the incorrect statement from the following. Animals accumulate ammonia, urea, uric acid and carbon dioxide and water by metabolic activities. So this statement is correct only. Statement B, animals accumulate substances like sodium, potassium, chloride and urea, ammonia, uric acid, carbon dioxide and water are removed totally or partially. So this is also the correct statement only. Third statement, ammonia is produced by metabolism, is converted into urea in the liver of mammals. This statement is also correct. Actually, during the metabolism, ammonia is produced, but that ammonia is being converted as urea in the liver of mammals. So about this we have discussed the topic under the ornithine cycle or the urea cycle. Option D, kidneys play a significant role in the removal of ammonia directly. So this statement is wrong, because kidney helps, it is going to play an important role in the removal, but not with respect to the ammonia. It is going to remove. If you take the example of the human being, so there it is going to help in the removal of urea. Second question, select ammonotelic from the following. Ammonotelic means the organisms who are going to excrete the end product as the ammonia. So here, who are considered to be as the ammonotelic organisms? So the ammonotelic organisms are mainly the bony fishes. Bony fishes means the cartilaginous fishes, aquatic amphibians, the amphibians which lives in the water, then aquatic insects. All these are considered to be as ammonotelic. So that's why all of these is the correct answer. Select the order of toxicity. Ammonia, urea, uric acid. So among these three excretory products, we have to select which is the highest, which is lowest, which is low toxicity. Okay, so among these the highest toxicity is in the ammonia. Then after the ammonia, the toxicity is more with respect to the urea. Than that, it is next the uric acid. So the A, B, C, in option A, what is given, no, so that order is the correct only. Least toxicity is uric acid, moderate toxicity is urea, and the highest one is ammonia. Next, which excretory product requires the maximum water for its elimination? So the which excretory product is highest toxic? So that excretory product only requires maximum water for their elimination, and that is the ammonia only. Select the incorrect statement from the following. Ammonia is readily soluble in water. So obviously the ammonia is readily soluble in the water. Next statement, ammonia is generally excreted by the process of diffusion. So this is also the correct statement. Next, ammonia is excreted as ammonium ion through gill surface in fishes. So this statement is also the correct. Next statement, ammonia is the major and urea, uric acid are the minor forms of nitrogenous waste excreted by animals. So this statement is wrong, because it is almost the reverse. Urea and uric acid is the major, And the ammonia is the minor forms of nitrogenous waste excreted by animals, because ammonia is observed only with respect to the aquatic organisms. Next question: metabolic waste containing nitrogen in our body are due to. So the metabolic waste which are containing nitrogen in our body, they are mainly due to the proteins. Next question: excretion involves the process in which harmful substances in the body are chemically changed. Substances of no further use or those present in excessive quantities are thrown out of the body. Harmful substances are stored in cells before being eliminated. Expulsion of urine from the urinary bladder and sweat from the skin. So the excretion involves the process in which substances of no further use or those present in excessive quantities are thrown out of the body. Eighth question: which of the following is ureotelic? The ureotelic means the organisms who are eliminating the excretory end product as the urea. The example for ureotelic are mammals, terrestrial amphibians, and even the marine fishes. Hence, all the options are the ureotelic organisms. So, the option D is the correct answer. Next question: ammonia, which is produced by metabolism, is converted into dash in the liver of mammals and is released into dash, which is filtered, and dash is out by kidney. So, the ammonia which is produced by the metabolism is converted into urea in the liver of mammals. So in the liver of mammals it undergoes a ornithine cycle, and that urea is released into blood, which is filtered and excreted out by kidney. So the ninth question, the answer is option B. Next, 10th question: which of the following is uricotelic? So the uricotelic uricotelic means the organisms who are going to excrete the excretory end product as the uric acid. Okay, so who are considered to be as the uricotelic organisms? The reptiles, birds, the land snails, these are considered to be as the uricotelic animals. So for 10th question, option D is the correct answer. 11th one: with respect to the mode of excretion, bony fish falls into what category of organisms? So bony fish, that is cartilaginous fishes, they comes under ammonotelic organisms. Next question: aquatic animals are mostly ammonotelic because the excretion of the ammonia requires large amount of water should be available to those animals. Why? Because the ammonia is highest in its toxicity. Because of that, when the ammonia is eliminated out from the body, that is requiring more and more amount of the water. Next question: what gets increased in blood if liver becomes functionless? If liver becomes functionless, the amount of ammonia is getting increasing more. Next, 14th question: nitrogenous excretory product of frog tadpole is. Frog tadpole means the tadpole is the larval stage of the frog. So in case of the frog's tadpole, the excretory end product is ammonia. Next, 15th question: in aquatic organisms, the waste end product of nitrogen metabolism is. In aquatic organisms, the waste end product of nitrogen metabolism is ammonia. Next, 16th question. The chief nitrogenous waste product present in urine of frog is, so in case of the urine of the frog, the nitrogenous waste which is present is the urea. 17. Nitrogenous waste is excreted mainly as, the nitrogenous waste is excreted mainly as urea in both frog and tadpole, urea in frog and ammonia in tadpole, uric acid in frog and urea in tadpole, urea in tadpole and ammonia in frog. Actually, in with respect to the tadpole, it is the ammonia, and in case of the frog, the nitrogenous waste is the urea. So that's why urea in frog and the ammonia in tadpole is the right answer. 18th question. Urea is derived from, the urea is derived from the carbohydrates. Next question. Which of the following sets of animals produce the same substances as their chief excretory product? So the given set of animals which are going to produce the same substances as their excretory product means, so here fishes, if you take the fish is going to gives the excretory end product as the ammonia, whereas the pigeon it is uric acid, frog is urea. So all these are the different one, whereas with respect to the frog you can take with B, camel, mammal it is, so it is urea, housefly, insect, so it is going to gives the waste product as the uric acid, snake that is also the uric acid. So here also again that is different, one is urea and another two are uric acid. Next, C option you check, frog urea, monkey urea and dog also the urea. So 19th question, the answer is option C. 20th, which of the following sets of animals are uricotelic? So the uricotelic organisms means the organisms which are going to excrete the end product as the uric acid. So uric acid mainly the reptiles, birds, land snails and the insects. All these are going to the uricotelic organisms means the organisms who are going to excrete the uric acid. So uric acid excreting organisms means their reptiles comes, the bird comes and the insect and even the land snails. So here for 20th question the answer is option C. Next question, excretion of nitrogenous waste product mainly as uric acid by birds is helpful in, so the birds when they excrete nitrogenous waste as the uric acid, they you might have observed their excretory end product of the bird, it will be excreting that along with the fecal matter, like it will be like the droppage only. So why that is? In order to conserve the water. Next question, uric acid is formed in human being from, the uric acid in human being is formed by the purines. So please students, these questions you can recall when I was explaining the introduction part about the urea, uric acid, the ammonia, about these products. When I was explaining, I have told how all these are being formed in, even don't get confused, the uric acid how it is formed. Some amount of the uric acid will be formed inside the human being, so that uric acid if it accumulates in the joints, the accumulation of the uric acid in the joints, it is going to cause the disease called as the gout. So please recall all these, open your notes and check it with this all. Next, 23rd question, uric acid is excreted by, so I said the uric acid is uricotelic organisms mainly are birds, then land snails, reptiles, insect comes. So among all these, the uric acid is being excreted by the pigeon. Next question, the least toxic nitrogenous waste is. So among all these, the least toxic nitrogenous waste is the uric acid. Next question, the marine teleost fishes excrete. The marine teleost fishes excrete that is the uric acid, TMO, and ammonia. Option D is all of these. The marine teleost fishes excrete the TMO, that is option B. Next question 26, select the correct statement from the following. In most of the invertebrates, excretory structures are in complex tubular forms. So this statement, is it correct? So this statement is actually wrong, because in invertebrates the excretory structures, they are not that much complex tubular forms. Next statement, vertebrates have a simple tubular organ as excretory structure like kidney. So in case of vertebrates, kidney is present as excretory structures, but that is not a simple, it is complex. Protonephridia is primarily concerned with excretion. So the protonephridia is not primarily concerned with excretion, because it is going to help mainly even with respect to the osmoregulation also. Option D, protonephridia are excretory structures in rotiferous annelids and cephalocodid. Actually, protonephridia are the excretory structures in rotiferous annelids and the cephalocodids, that is the Amphioxus. So here, so option D, that D statement is the correct statement. Next question, excretory and osmoregulatory structure in cockroach. So in cockroach, the excretory and osmoregulatory structure is Malpighian tubules. The animal which retains urea for hypertoxicity is most appropriate. The animal which is going to retain the urea for hypertoxicity is the elasmo branch. Next question, Malpighian tubules are the excretory organs in. The Malpighian tubules are the excretory organs in case of cockroach. Next question, in annelids, excretory organs are. In case of annelids, annelids means you can take the example as the earthworm. So there the excretory organs are nephridia. Next question, the excretory organs in prawn are. The excretory organs in case of the prawn are green glands or the antennal glands. 32nd question, green glands are excretory organs of. The green glands are the excretory organs of crayfishes. That is the one more type like a prawn only. Okay, the next question, coxal glands are excretory organs in. The coxal glands are the excretory organs in case of the spiders and the scorpions. Next question, which of these parts in vertebrates functionally corresponds to the contractile vacuole of the protozoans? In case of vertebrates, functionally corresponding to the contractile vacuole of protozoans means in the protozoans what the contractile vacuole is there, which is helping in the osmoregulation. The same function in case of vertebrates, it is being done by which part? That is the question. So obviously that is the kidney only. Next question, in humans the excretory system consists of the in human excretory system is consisting of a pair of kidney, a pair of ureters, urinary bladder and a urethra. Hence all of these is the correct answer. Next, kidneys in human is situated between the kidneys in the human beings, it is situated between it is situated between the T12 and L3. What is this T12 L3 or T11 L? See, T stands for thoracic, okay, and L stands for lumbar. So already you might have come across with the skeletal system, no? So their thoracic and the lumbar regions, they are having the vertebrates. So the last thoracic vertebrae and the third lumbar vertebrae, in between this there is a presence of the kidney. So hence option is the correct one. The correct dimensions of human kidney are, so the human kidney, it is of 10 to 12 centimeter in the length, 5 to 7 centimeter in the width, 2 to 3 centimeter in the thickness, and with respect to the weight, it is 120 to 170 grams. So for 37th question, the correct answer is option A. 38th, which of the following is correct about the hilum of kidney? The hilum of kidney, what is that hilum? The hilum is in case with respect to the kidney, or the concave surface will be present, so that concave surface of the kidney is called a hilum. So through this hilum, ureter, the blood vessels, nerves will be entering. Okay, so this here among 38th, which is correct about the hilum of the kidney? So I said it is the concave surface, okay, concave but inner surface. So here no option with a concave, but it is a notch from through which the ureter, nerve and the blood vessels are going to enter. So option C is the right answer. Next, 39, which of the following is incorrect about the human kidney? Kidney is covered by a tough capsule. So this is the correct statement. Kidney is divided into cortex, medulla on the outer side. Actually the kidney is being divided as the cortex and medulla, but not on the outer side. It is divided as the inner side. So that's why that is the incorrect statement about the kidney. Next question, each kidney has nearly how many nephrons? So what are these nephrons? Nephrons are the structural and functional unit of the kidney. Each kidney will be having a millions of nephrons. A millions means 1 millions of the nephrons. Next question, the extension of cortex in medulla is known as, the extension of the cortex in medulla is known as renal columns also, and even the column of Bertini. Hence D option is the correct one. Next question, each nephron is consisting of the glomerulus and the renal tubules. What is this option D? Calcis. Calcis, it is a part of the kidney where it is observed in case of the medulla region. It is not connected to the nephron. Next question, glomerulus along with Bowman's capsule is called, the glomerulus along with the Bowman's capsule is called as the renal corpuscle also, and the Malpighian tubule. So here what the option B, the Malpighian tubule they have given, that is wrong, because the glomerulus along with the Bowman's capsule is called as renal corpuscle and the Malpighian body, hence option D is the correct answer. Next question, a part of nephron situated in cortex completely. So in the cortex, which part of the nephron comes, that is their question. So in case of the cortex, Malpighian corpuscle, then PCT, DCT will be in the part of the cortex. The loop of Henle collecting duct, they will be extending till the medulla region. So the cortex means Malpighian corpuscle, proximal convoluted tubule and the distal convoluted tubules. They are the parts of the nephron which are situated in the cortex region. Next question, select the incorrect statement from the following. The incorrect statement, the distal convoluted tubules of many nephron open into a state tube called the collecting duct. So this is the correct statement. In cortical nephrons, so here you all know that the nephrons are being divided into cortical and the juxtamedullary nephrons. So cortical nephrons means where the majority of the part of the nephrons will be mainly present in the cortex and little part of the nephron will be present in the medulla. Juxtamedullary nephrons means where the part of the nephrons will not be present or will not be extended with respect to the cortex region. Means here cortical nephrons means the PCT, DCT and their renal tubules and the glomerulus, they will be present in the cortex region. Okay, so till medulla they will the loop of Henle and the vasa recta cannot be extended. Whereas with respect to the juxtamedullary nephrons, what happens? All the parts of the nephron will be present in the cortex. Okay, then as the length of the loop of Henle will be long, so it will be extending till the medulla region. Okay, so all these A, B, C, all those three statements are the correct. Option D is the wrong, because vasa recta is a part of peritubular network or peritubular capillary. Here they have told it is not a part of, so that's why that is the incorrect statement. Next question, two kidneys of human beings lie. So the two kidneys of the human beings lie left kidney at higher level than the right one. Okay, then next question, which term is used both for a part of kidney and a part of skeleton in the mammals? So that is the pelvis region, because the skeleton, in case of the skeleton of the mammals, we come across with the pelvis region, and even with respect to the kidney also we come across it is present in the pelvis region. So that's why that is the correct answer. 48, mammalian kidney serve to excrete. The mammalian kidney serve to excrete excess salts, urea and excess water. Next question, the part through which arteries and veins enter or leave the kidney is called. So the arteries and the veins which enter or leave the kidney is called as the hilus or hilum. Next question, cells named podocytes occur in the wall of So these podocytes, they occur, podocytes, they are the cells which are present inside of the membrane of the glomerulus. So these podocytes, they are being arranged in the intricate manner so that to help for the filtration. Okay, and those intricate manners where the gaps are being formed, that gap only we call it as the filtration slits or the slit pores. So these podocytes which are present, that is present in the wall of Bowman's capsules. Next question. A Malpighian corpuscle is, a Malpighian corpuscle is nothing but it is another name for the combination of the glomerulus and the Bowman's capsule. Next question. Blood vessel leading to glomerulus is called, the blood vessel which is leading to the glomerulus is called the afferent arteriole. 53rd question. Blood vessel draining the glomerulus in mammalian nephron is called, the blood vessel draining the glomerulus in mammalian nephron is called the afferent arteriole, and it is narrower than the vessel which is entering it inside, because afferent will be little bit broader whereas efferent will be smaller, and it will be smaller than the other vessel, means other vessel is afferent arteriole which is entering it, whereas efferent one will be leaving it, means it will be moving a part of it. Next question. In mammalian kidneys, the Bowman's capsule or the Malpighian corpuscles occur in. So in the mammalian kidney, the Bowman's capsule or the Malpighian corpuscles occur in the cortex of the kidney. 55th. In a glomerulus, afferent arteriole is thicker than the efferent. Capillaries are thicker than the efferent capillaries. Capillaries are thinner than the efferent capillaries. Afferent arteriole is thinner than the efferent arteriole. So here remember, afferent arteriole will be broader whereas efferent one will be the narrower, and what the vessels are entering, they are said to be as the arterioles. This arteriole, that is afferent and efferent, it is the branch which is arising from the renal artery, and this efferent arteriole further it will be joining the renal vein. So 55th answer is option A. So the remaining questions we shall discuss in the next class. Thank you.